Hi friends, it's Andrea with Journals for Life, and I am here to do a stencil and paste tutorial. I'm really excited about this. I'm not sure that I've done one with the brick. I think I did some ink ones, some ink blending with the brick stencil that I have in shop. But today we are going to do some paste. And let me show you what I'm going to use. So of course I have my brick stencil. I thought that's a perfect background for all kinds of things depending on the colors that you use. So we're going to make a fall background. And this is what it's going to look like. Isn't that pretty? Look how shiny that is. So pretty. This is a watercolor paper. You don't have to use a watercolor paper. I do have a 4x8 watercolor pad I picked up on a whim. I thought it was great. It is a nice thicker paper. You can't really do any wrong with it. And then I also have these plain cardstock pieces. So I think I'm going to do one of each. One on the watercolor and one on the plain cardstock. And I have these Simon Hurley lunar pastes in the shop. I love them so much. I'm going to use Game Over, Roar, and this gold, which is called Slippery When Wet. So these are the three colors I'm going to use to get that brick pattern. And here are the other ones I do have in shop. So I have this yellow called Shooting Star. I have Fake Plant. This one's pretty too. I've been using this a lot. Tropical Tango. Like, this is my favorite color. I think that I would have everything in this color if I could. Tropical Tango. It's a beautiful color. Midnight Snack. And Prom Queen. Just look how pretty they are. And you can't tell, but they're very shiny. They're just really pretty. So this is the Simon Hurley Lunar Paste. I'm going to be using, I have a couple tools that I got from, I think this came in a kit, and I think I bought this at Wicked Papers in Merritt Island, Florida. So I'm going to use these two since I have them open already, and they're the tools that I normally use. I'm also going to use these Simon Hurley, I'm just going to use one. Simon Hurley spreader. You just kind of do that with it, so I'm going to use that. If you would like some paste, some stencils, and some tools, I do have the Simon Hurley Create Paste Tool Set. And that gives you two of these spreaders and one of the palette knife disc, because you need something to scoop it out. You can't scoop it out with that. Learned that the hard way. So you need this to scoop it out. You can do details. This is kind of like almost like screen printing, you know, when you have a large surface area. So you can use that. So I have this set, and then I also have the Distress palette knives, and there's two different kinds. There's the long kind like this, and then there's the short, small diamond head one that you get in this pack right here. So I have both of those available in the shop. And of course I have all of these Simon Hurley colors as well. So let's get started. So I am trying out a new video editor. I just got a new setup here, and as far as I know, I can't fast forward. This is the part that I'd usually just, you know, fast forward and keep on going with life. I need to get up to date on my video software, so instead I'm just going to talk to you. So let's try that this time. So I love this Make Art platform. I always do it at an angle. It bothers some people that it's not straight. I guess I could put it on there straight and turn it. This is just my process and how I do it. I like to have some room, and I'm right-handed to do it this way. So this Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station by Ranger is in the shop. I love this thing so much. So it's perfect for journal 4x8 cards. You know, anytime you want to watercolor or paint or use stencils, it holds it down while you do it. I use it all the time. It's my new favorite, and since I like it so much, I pop some up in the shop. I never put anything in the shop that I don't personally use or love or endorse. So you know that if it's in the shop, I've tried it and I've loved it. I have rejected tons of projects or products that I just didn't care for, didn't like, got sent samples and whatever. And I'm just not like that. I'm not going to put anything in the store that I don't personally endorse, love, or use. And most of my products I manufacture myself. So you can always rest assured that I'm using the highest quality manufacturers with the highest quality of processes and product. So what I'm doing here is I wanted to do a 3-color process. So I'm just kind of like in spots putting the red first because I don't want it to be all one color. I kind of want it to have variations. So I started with the red. You could probably start with any color. I'd go from dark to light. Not sure the thought process behind it, but that's just what works for me. I'm looking for my wet wipe so I can wipe that off really good. Okay, so I started with the darkest one. Now I'm going to move on to this Roar orange, and this is really pretty. This is kind of what I want the bulk of it to be in. And it is messy, or at least I'm messy. I get stuff everywhere, so you just have to not mind me. Okay, that's what I want the majority of it to be in. And then I like this gold to kind of fill in. So let's see what we get here. Look how pretty that gold is. That's phenomenal. That's pretty. Okay. Oops. Accidentally put it under the stencil instead of over, so that might be a little boo-boo. Don't know. We'll see. Looks like I've just got so much on here, so at this point I'm just going to kind of scrape it off just a little bit. So that's where the other one comes in for me. There's different ways to use these things. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. Well, I'm sure there probably can be a wrong way, but this is how this is how I do it. So I just kind of go like this, and then you see I've got some on there. Now it's kind of variegated. I go back over some pieces that don't have anything and make sure it's all covered. I'm gonna have to. You can go this way. I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't think it matters. It always comes out right for me. And so, there we go. All right, and then you see all that variation of color in there. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so let's pull this up and see what it looks like. Voila! I love it. Yeah, you see right here, that's where I went under the stencil accidentally. So I made a little boo-boo right there. I don't think it matters. I think it, you know, brick walls also always have anomalies, so I think it looks okay. I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm not a perfect scrapper. I like to make messes and do mixed media, so I just kind of embrace it. And then you can tell I got a little bit here on the edge. Sometimes when I do that, I will like come back and maybe just put little pieces on there, you know, just so it's not stark white on the edge. It's almost like kind of inking your edges, you know. And you'll see that. I'll show you my book where I kind of did that. If you don't like that and you want it like stark white, then you just keep it that way. You do you. So there we go. Look how nice that looks. Look how shiny. All right, that is going to be pretty. So let me clean my hand so I don't transfer it. And I'll show you my book again. Yeah, so you see that? You see how I got it here? So I just put it all the way around the book. Didn't bother me a bit. Looks like I did a little inking on the edge too. So that is what it will look like when it is dry. Really pretty. All right, let's try the same thing, but let's use different colors. So I'm trying to think of what colors I want to use, and instead of using that watercolor paper, I'm going to use just regular old plain white cardstock, because I use that all the time. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab, there's 2 in that pack, so I'm going to grab the other one, put this out the way so I don't make a mess, because I love to make messes. All right, so for this one, let me grab my other brick stencil, and let's see. Ah, there it is. I'm gonna grab the clean ones. And we're gonna use different colors. So what do you think? Let's see. I'm thinking that like hot pink prom queen's cool. Or you know what? I might do, what if I use these 3 colors? That way it'll go with my autumn book. I think I'll use those 3. I really want to use this pink somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it. It doesn't fit in any of my current memory keeping or journaling, that color, so maybe I'll hold it until spring or summer or do something fun then. All right, so these 3. So we're going to do Fake Plant, Roar, and Tropical Tango. I'm going to get it set up here again. And let's see what we got. All right, so now grab another wipe, have those handy, so get it everywhere. All right, so we're going to start with, I think I'm going to start with the green. I'll follow it up with the teal, and then I'll finish up with the Roar, with the orange. So I didn't anticipate using these, that's why I didn't open them. This is kind of like spur of the moment, sporadic. All right, here we go. Look how pretty. Woohoo! Look at that. And these are great. So I bought some to use when they came out, and I loved them so much. I decided to put them in shop. That's the only bad thing about using a metal, is it sticks to this thing. Usually plastic is better, but I picked this one up instead of this one for some reason. All right, there's the green. Perfect. I might need some more of that. I'm not sure yet. I think I'm going to switch to this one. Yeah. Right, some Tropical Tango. Oops, lost that. Let's try that. Okay, I think that looks good. And orange or Roar is last. So let's get some of that here. Got so much on here. I'm trying not to do too much because that's going to scrape down and fill in the blanks. Oops, I'll do that. There we go. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's grab the other scraper, and I've already gotten it off the page here like a crazy person. So let me see if I can pick that up. Cool. All right, so I'm going to maybe do it this way. Cool. I love these magnets. They're like super sticky, super magnetic, super strong. I'll get it in a minute. That's what I'm wanting to say. All right, cool. So there we go. Maybe just ugh, that made it muddy. I remember seeing a tutorial said if you go this way, don't go back this way. And I didn't listen. So don't do that. Okay, cool. Let's see what we got. We have a big mess. That's what we've got. I've got it everywhere. But it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Look at that. Look how pretty. I'm going to grab some of this maybe, and since I have a big wad up here, I'm just going to put it down here. Maybe down here a little bit too. All right, and there you have it. Look how pretty that is. That'll be a nice background. And you can tell that, you know, there's no puckering or anything. So whether you use cardstock or watercolor paper, it's pretty much the same thing. It's not that big of a deal at all. So now that I have this one there, I'm wondering if maybe we could do like a distress type thing. So I'm going to put this down in the same footprint. And I think I'm just going to use the rest of this since I decided to put so much on that last one. And I'm not going to do a full page brick. I'm just going to do maybe a rule of thirds. So maybe 1, 2, 3 spots using what I've got on this palette knife. So let's see, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. So I should probably do a magnet here, 1, 2, so then over here, and then 3. Okay, perfect. So that works out well. So I am going to move my station around. Underneath is a silicone mat. So this is like a the kind that bakers use, and it's wipeable. It's very clean. I got it on a famous store that offers like 2-day shipping. So it's probably one of the best things that I bought because it's super cleanable. All right, so 1, 2, 3. You ready? 1. I'm not sure that's working. Maybe this way. 1, 2. Sounded better in my mind. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, that sounded way better in my mind. So that's okay though. Let's see. All right, so then I'll just use this as kind of like a distress background. Maybe I'll layer a bunch of tags. Maybe I'll get like a big leaf or something and layer it. So I'm just setting this up. Don't really have a purpose for it. This is a little bit of an experiment and a little bit of not wasting that. So let's see what we got here. Hope you can see that. All right, yeah, look at that. So it looks like a nice little distress page. And this stuff dries fast. Super fast. All right. So that's that. So I may just use it, I might use it like this. And just put a leaf on there, probably, or something, maybe something from the ephemera pack. So that's it. So that is using the paste with the new stencils, and these wash off. You just run them in water and soap, like a light soap. And I run this through water too. It wipes right off. You can just clean it right off. So that's this one. And then we had the original, and these are already dry. Oops, I lied. They feel dry on the edges. So they do dry pretty fast. They'll be dry pretty shortly. So I just set them aside and let them dry. So that's the original brick. And this is green, turquoise, and orange. So that's 2 ready to use for some kind of project. You can also cut them down. So after they're dry, you can put a die on them and cut out a tag or cut out other things using your dies. So that's a lot of fun. This gives you that dimension using the paste. And then here is the distressed one. So this would be a nice one to run through a die. Like get a like a circle or, you know, some shape and just cut that out. You could probably get a couple of them, like the space right here. You might get a circle. So that is using stencil pastes. So I'm going to come back this week using some more stencils. I have this grid one that I'm going to use. I'm going to do watercolor and stamps with this one instead of paste. So this will be watercolor and stamps for Country Manor to give you some ideas for your Thankful 30 challenge. And then I also have this star frame. It's really, really pretty on like dark paper with colors like this or this. They kind of stand out, and then this gold. So I'm going to come back with some projects. I'm going to make some journal spots. So I'm going to use this square frame, and I'm going to make some journal spots for my pages for my Thankful 30 album. All right, friends. Well, I'll see you next time. Hope this was fun. Bye.